My name is Alana Lindgren. I'm the Acting Dean of the Faculty of Fine Arts, and it is my great pleasure on behalf of everyone here to welcome you to your first day of university. And it is really great to see you and not see you on a little Zoom square, but to see you here in person. And as John said, we have students from across the faculty here with us right now. So we have people from art history and visual studies, from music, from theater, from visual arts, and from writing. And I'll have more to say in a moment, but we also have a very special guest with us here today who came here just for you, all the way from across campus in his cab cart. Please give a huge, boisterous, loud, fine arts welcome to Dr. Kevin Hall, the president of the University of Victoria.
You guys are winning the best prize. I'm an engineer by training, and I always thought engineers were the coolest. This is great participation. I just wanted to welcome you all to the University of Victoria, and hopefully you're as excited as I am. This is my first year as well. So we're all in first year together. I've been here 10 months and I haven't seen very many people at all. Everybody's still got masks on, which we have to do, but it's really just great to be back in person and see you all in 3D. And I love your enthusiasm, which is fantastic. I just wanted to, apart from welcoming you, also really try to get you to think about UVic as a place not just to do fine arts, but to kind of grow and experience other things. And one of the things we do really poorly at UVic, I think, is this interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary stuff. You know, we all kind of work hard on our programs because we want to get good marks. But take yourself out of your comfort zone while you're here. Get involved in other activities, get involved in other classes, join a club, play a sport, do something you're not used to doing. I think that's where you get the most out of your university experience. That was at least my experience. I went to Queen's, which is a pretty traditional, boring university, but it was a great experience for me because I got involved in so many different things. So just do that. The other thing I would say, and you're probably going to hear a lot of this, is use the resources of the institution. If you're struggling with school, if you have mental health issues, if you need career counseling, there's so many great services at UVic, and I've worked at Queen's and Guelph and Newcastle and UNSW in Australia. This university by far has so many good support systems in place for you as students, and it's a big change from high school. So just make sure you use all of those. And the last thing I will say is you're going to hear from a very, very important person too. And I can't express enough the importance of land and language and the recognition of that at this university, and in fact in your lives. And I'm not going to do the territorial acknowledgement, but I just will say there's one question, one simple question that all we as Canadians have to answer. Do we want to be part of the problem, or do we want to be part of the solution? So answer that question to yourself. You don't need to tell anybody, but just make sure whatever it is you do, you make a positive change. And so, thanks, Allana. I crashed your party. I wasn't on the guest list. But it's important for me to meet as many students as I can. And if you see me walking across campus in the next little while, just come up and say hello. Tell me what you're studying, what you're doing. Despite me being an engineer, I was a former chair at the Guelph Art Gallery and the president of the Guelph Jazz Festival. So for me, it's really important to interfuse the arts and engineering and science and all these other things. So thanks for listening to me today.
Thank you, President Hall, and I understand the President will be putting together a band.
I need a good bass player.
Yes, I would like to turn over the stage now to Karla Point. who is the Indigenous Resurgence Coordinator in the Faculty of Fine Arts. And that means that Karla's job is to help us all move forward in a very positive way to make the Faculty of Fine Arts in the University of Victoria a welcoming and safe place for all students. I go to her all the time for advice, and please feel free to do the same yourself. And I know that Karla will be organizing a variety of events for you this coming year. But for today, right now, Karla will lead us in the territorial acknowledgement.
I would like to start by doing the territorial acknowledgement. This is a really important practice I hope many of you keep in mind for wherever you go. It's really, really respectful. Goes a long way. I would like to acknowledge the Lekwungen speaking people of Songhees and Esquimalt Nation, and also the Osage people and the Spanish Peninsula. They have very kindly allowed me to come live here, work here, share my time with family and friends here. So I'm always grateful to them for allowing us to continue being here. It's really great to see you guys. It's really, honest to God, great to see you in person. I don't know about you, but Zoom is so done. It's just so done, and to actually see all of you here warms my heart so much. And the kind of work that I'm undertaking here is so exciting. You know, it gives credibility, I guess, to some of the work I've done my whole life. It wasn't easy to come to be here as a student. It was a really hard place for me to come and be, which is why I'm so excited about doing the work that I'm doing now as your Indigenous Resurgence Coordinator. I really appreciate our President's words with respect to the willingness to hear you. That really goes a long way. It tells me that your words matter. So please take them up on the offer and stop them. I know when I was a student, I would never think to do anything like that. That's the president. You don't talk unless you have an appointment. Well, that's not the case here. So please, I encourage you to take up that opportunity and share. I'll just share with you a teaching that I had growing up. And I think it's an important one. It's taken me a long ways in my life. One of my teachings my nan gave me was that the Creator gave us the 2 ears, but He also gave us our mind and our heart. She told me we must always listen really hard from all 4 directions before you engage them all. Now that wasn't always easy. I was a politician for my nation for 8 years. Talk about practicing that. You know, but I mean, it goes a long ways. And when people realize that you truly are listening to them and your words matter, things change. So enjoy your time here. Enjoy it, you know, as President Paul said, do the other socializing things. I have some plans for the upcoming year. We're hoping we can carry it out. Like most anything else, it's budget contingent. But, you know, these events will be announced. So I'm hoping we can come out. The way that I wanted to set it up was to have what I call the hahopa in my language, which is Luchano on the West Coast. Hahopa is the teachings. My nan used to give us hahopa time. Hahopa time always occurred over a meal. And the idea was that the elder would talk, the child would listen and eat, and while they're digesting their food, they're also digesting the knowledge of the words. The idea with the hope at times you come, you listen, you hear, and learn new things. The second part for my kind of activity plan is to have an experience. So part one, you listen and learn. Part two, you just actually do. So keep your eye out for those kind of announcements of the activities that I've got planned coming up. My hope is to introduce you to all kinds of people and to let you know that, I am one Indigenous woman, but there are so many others. There are so many others. The 3 thank yous I gave you were in the 3 traditional languages of this island. 3 distinct tribal groups on this island. I'm in Chana, we are on the west coast of the island. The Coast Salish are on the east coast of the island, and then the Baboula are on the tip. And keep that in mind, we all have distinct language, distinct cultural practices. Just on this little island, can you imagine the rest of BC, the rest of Canada? So just keep that in mind. Keep listening hard. Enjoy your turn. I'm over in room 129 in the Fine Arts Building. I want you guys to all think of me as kind of Auntie Karla. Okay? I'm going to be your auntie here, so come see me if you need any kind of guidance, advice, maybe share an idea. Come see me. And welcome to UVic and your first year at Fine Arts. You guys are awesome.
Thank you very much, Karla. Thank you. Yes, please visit Karla at any time. She's a very important part of our faculty, so you will be seeing her throughout your time here. If you are sitting here thinking, did I make a mistake? Should I really have gone into fine arts, or should I have done discipline X that my parents really wanted me to do? Or are you sitting here thinking, what am I doing? I'm starting a university degree during a pandemic? Well, I can tell you, you have made the right choice for both of those categories, absolutely. And I applaud you, because no matter what you go on to do, whether you're an artist, an arts administrator, an educator, or just an informed citizen, you will learn great skills in all of the courses that you take in fine arts and across the campus. You'll be learning creative thinking. You'll be learning working as a team. You'll be learning how to work under pressure with an audience often watching you, and leadership skills, and so on and so on. And so no matter what you do while you're pursuing your passion, whatever art form calls you, you will be coming very well prepared for whatever your career or careers are down the road. So just let me lay that here for you. You have made the right choice. In terms of the pandemic, the fact that you have decided to start a university degree during a pandemic bodes well, because that tells me that you're brave, that you're willing to take a chance, that you're adaptable. Would you ever think 4 years ago that your first day of university you'd be sitting in an audience wearing a mask? But here you are. So that tells me that you have all the characteristics that we want you to have as artistic and creative people. You've got a head start. So I know that you're going to do well. And I can tell you that you talked to students who were here last year, and they'll tell you that it can be done, because we offered 135 courses in person last year prior to there being any vaccines, and we had no incidents at all. And that's because of people like you, our students, our faculty, our staff. Everyone was very self-conscious and and safety conscious as well. Oops, that was a Freudian slip, self-conscious. Everyone was very safety conscious and made sure that we followed the protocols, as I know you will. I'm not going to talk about the past weekend. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, good. Even better. But know that we have learned lessons from last year, and that Bonnie Henry is right, that you do need to be calm, you do need to be kind, you do need to be safe. You also need to be patient. There will be bumps this term, absolutely. We're still working a few things out. You do need to be adaptable, absolutely. But first and foremost, remember that we need to remain a community, and that's one of the big lessons from last year for all of us, that our community here in fine arts is paramount. That's who we are, and that's what we're about. In normal times, we offer over 200 events a year, not only for on campus, but bringing the local community to campus, and they get to see what you're doing, the art that you're making. And so that sense of community, when I say community, expands beyond us just in this faculty and extends to the entire Victoria city. So know now that you are very much part of that community, starting today, and that I echo President Hall and Karla, so this is a theme that you will hear over and over again. Make the most of that. Make the most of your time. You know, somebody has worked very hard to get you here today, you, your parents, whomever, so make sure you wring out everything that's possible in terms of experience, and take courses beyond fine arts. Try new things that you haven't tried before, and know that you have really important contributions to make, even from day one. So again, I echo others. As you see me walking around at events or across campus or down the hall, please stop me, say hello, introduce yourself. When you need help, please reach out. I and others are here to help you. And know that all of us are cheering you on, wishing you great success, and hoping you have a wonderful academic year. So welcome to the Faculty of Fine Arts. And now I'd like to turn the floor over to colleagues from Co-op, Joy and Kyle.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here and to be talking to you in person and see you all here to start your first year. So my name is Joy and I'm your co-op coordinator. And I'm really excited to be the co-op coordinator for students in fine arts. And I agree completely, you are in the right degree. I've been meeting with students who've been doing co-op work terms over the summer, and employers who are talking about their fine arts co-op students are talking about how adaptable they've been, how creative they are, what great communication skills they have, and on and on. So feel confident that this is something that you can be doing as well. So the co-op program is a program that you can choose to participate in. You can do 1 or up to 4 work experiences. And these are paid work experiences related to your degree and your creative interests. Many different employers want to hire you. It might be museums and galleries, historic sites, not-for-profit organizations, working in the arts, government. So it all depends on what your interests are in terms of the types of co-op work experiences that you will pursue. And no matter what your creative career vision is, having at least 1 co-op work term will help give you some connection with business skills and things that will support your career going forward. You can apply to the co-op program next year. So why am I talking to you right now? To get you thinking about preparing for that. And what can you do this year that will help you to apply for co-op and do at least 1 work term starting next year? You can do exactly what you're hearing from everybody this afternoon. You can get involved in the ways that make sense for you this year. and just take up one of the suggestions that you've seen on the slides while you were waiting in terms of things that you want to get involved in. And know that your co-op program is here and it's easy to apply, and I'm available. Feel free to reach out to me, and again, if you see me walking by and you have a question for me, please don't hesitate to stop me and ask me about the co-op program. I'll be really happy to talk to you about it. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Kyle Price. So I am your career educator for humanities, fine arts, and education students. So where that plays in with Joy as well, as she mentioned, what are you going to be doing for this next year if you are thinking about doing a co-op term? You can happily meet up with me. Even though it's your first day here at school, it's never too early to start planning about your career. Whether you have a really clear sense of what you want to do moving forward, or whether you have no clue whatsoever and you're just taking things as they come. It's always a great opportunity to check in to see what kind of things you really enjoy in your courses, what kind of work areas you might be able to do, and even unexpected ones too, as Joy said. You might be thinking of some common paths, but in my past role on campus with engineering and computer science students, there's a huge demand for people who can communicate, who can organize, who can really put together events and other skills that you may not necessarily think of right away when you think about fine arts, but it's a very applicable, great program to be in. So a few things we can do. We offer workshops pretty regularly. Every month there'll be workshops on resumes, cover letters, networking. We also have a few things coming up, like clubs and course union events. So as we've heard a few times here today, getting involved with those student organizations not only is a great way to make friends and to pursue passions or things you enjoy, but it really looks good on the resume too, and it can really help bridge that gap when you're a new graduate looking at entry jobs that say 2 years, 3 years experience. Well, you can pick that up through your years at school, being in course union clubs, doing co-op terms, summer jobs. You can put that all together. So like Joy, I'm always happy to chat. If you see me, feel free to say hi, or you can look into, just type co-op and career on the UVic website, and then you can figure out how to book an appointment with me, book an appointment with Joy, or peruse some of the many resources that we have online to help you out. So thanks a lot, and welcome again, and I hope you have a great first day here.
They've just got to dash off to another orientation for humanities. It's a very busy day. So the next person you're going to hear from is Sarah Riecken, who is our faculty advisor. Let me just get her slide. Yeah.
So this is stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm usually the one-on-one person, often in a closed office or on Zoom or on telephone. Bear with me. I've got so much to tell you, but I have to remind myself it's just your beginning, just the first day. So I hope that the things that I mentioned today, maybe there's one or two things that resonate with you, or things that you want to look into further or follow up with me again, because I don't know your situation or what you're planning and thinking, but I'm hoping I get the chance to find out a little more. So my name is Sarah Riecken. My office, like Karla's, is in the Fine Arts Building, and my role in the faculty is to support you in planning your degree, understanding program options, and working toward graduation. I am an academic advisor, and academic advising refers to the work I do to support you understanding the information included in something called the academic calendar. And I'm just curious if any of you have seen the academic calendar or had a chance to view the website. That's great. And I hope that you may be curious to go and find it and look into it more, because it really includes everything that is UVic, your degree options in it. It is divided into sections by faculty and program, and also lists course descriptions and academic regulations. And that's where I can support you in understanding how those regulations and program options and course prerequisites apply to you. So I heard the suggestions and advice about taking courses outside fine arts, or maybe in another fine arts area. And I want to encourage you all to browse the program section of the calendar. There's a filter where you can filter by credential. And it's an amazing long list of minors that you'll find there. And most of the minors are open to all students. And most of you have electives in your degree that you could put toward a minor if you find an area of interest. Adding a second program like a double major is another way to specialize outside of your primary study area. So there's lots of ways to keep busy and customize your degree as suits your interests and needs. Just about the calendar, this is kind of a serious point, but it's really good to be aware. So here at UVic, we consider it to be the student's responsibility to find out what are the regulations, what are the requirements, and then to ask questions if you're not understanding in a timely way. So as soon as that first point of question comes up, and I can tell you from lots of experience here at UVic, we can problem solve when we hear about problems sooner than later. So I'll just really encourage you to reach out to all the resources as soon as the question comes up. Okay, so I'm going to be offering advising by email, by telephone, and continuing by Zoom on weekdays all through the fall term. I hope to see you all at least once over the coming year, and some of you I may see more often or have a few conversations. Email's the best way to ask me a question related to your records or a specific situation. I can give you referrals to other offices, I can refer you to web resources, and then we can book an appointment if it sounds like a discussion would be really helpful. I don't have an assistant or reception area, so that if you email me and you're really specific and clear about your questions, it really does help me prioritize your response to you and to respond quickly. And I really want to do that for you because I know that you all have pressing questions at this time. There was a tip earlier on the slideshow, so I'll just reinforce it. And you've all have an online account. You can set up a preferred email address. It's important that you then use that to contact UVic offices and also to check your spam and junk mail filter folders, because it does happen that you might be hearing from one office, maybe your instructor's emails are coming through, but emails from another office aren't for some reason. So we've had lots of situations where important emails go into the junk folder and maybe something timely hasn't happened. So that's just a pro tip. I don't know why it happens, but it's pretty common. Okay, so it is really common for new students like you to have questions in first term. You'll notice at this time that UVic offices are extra busy, and so lineups or a delayed email response is normal. But contacting the right office or resource first will help you get your question answered. So I want to just orient you to the resources around course registration and course support, because that's the thing you're most likely to have questions about at the beginning. Of course, you're always checking the calendar for prerequisites, or you're looking in the online schedule to see if there's specialized notes. But if you're getting into registering for a course and it's difficult, or you're getting error messages, the best place to reach out to is actually the academic unit that's offering the course. So for example, in Visual Arts Department Secretary is Laura, and if you email the visualarts@uvic.ca, she can help you if you explain your situation. If you're having a general course registration system problem, please contact student support at uvic.ca. The student support team in the Office of the Registrar is great, and they can help you with all kinds of situations. And another tip about course registration, just today, waitlist offers have come down to 24 hours. So that means that if you receive a waitlist offer, and I hope you do if you're waitlisted, you only have 24 hours to accept it before it goes to the next student in line. So things are moving more quickly now. But during the term, if things come up after you're registered in the course and you're going along in it, we want you to know that your course instructor is the most important person to reach out to first. You can always follow up with additional questions to an important person in the department called the chair. And the chair of the department is a very helpful and friendly person who coordinates courses and student experience, and they would want to hear from you if you have concerns that you can't address with your instructor. You can also reach out to me, and I'm happy to help making a referral or making a connection to solve the problem. One thing you could do in the first couple weeks of classes is just try to identify and locate the main office for each department that relates to a course that you're taking. And you could figure out who's the secretary and who's the chair of the department and take note of their contact information. That would be really helpful, and it's good to be proactive to know those things in case a question does come up. Okay, flipping pages. The most important thing I want to let you know, and this may help you in your second or your third or your fourth year or this year, is that UVic has a really strong academic concession process to help students who experience personal or health difficulties during term. So if you're ever unable to attend class or complete a course due to an unexpected situation, be sure to reach out to your instructors, or to your department chair, or to me, or to our great associate dean, Dr. Eva Babula, who you'll meet in a little bit, because we're here to help you in those unexpected scenarios. Examples of academic concession could be getting extra time, so extending the course beyond the end of the term, or perhaps withdrawing from a course retroactively if something very serious has taken place. We also recommend that you take advantage of support services offered by our wonderful counselors on campus. That's free service available to all of you. The Center for Accessible Learning and Health Services. If you already are in a situation where you know that those services are going to be very supportive for you, I'd encourage you now to get oriented to where the reception offices are and how to make appointments and what exactly their services are. It's better to know that now than to wait until October or November when you need the service. Okay, and finally, I think as we all know, academic success is closely tied to health and wellness. So I think the Learn Anywhere site at UVic is going to be your hub for knowing all of the supportive resources on campus. You'll notice that there's a section for well-being as well as a section for academic supports. And I'm just going to go forward to that page just so you can orient to it. And this is the place to go when you'd like to find out, what is there to support you in your coursework or with personal health and wellness. And I don't know who that person would be for you, but if you are starting to find that you're struggling a bit, you're missing classes or assignments are getting handed in late, you're not sleeping well, or something else has happened, there's any range of people to reach out to. It might be me, it might be an instructor, it might be a counselor. If you're registered with the Center for Accessible Learning, it might be your advisor there. But please do reach out to somebody because we are all here for you. And that's where I'm going to end. I hope to meet all of you at least once this year. And so please let me know when that works for you.
So hi everyone. I think I have a strong voice, so I'm not going to use the microphone, but I would like to thank everybody who has come before me because I am going to reinforce some of the same messages. They're really important for your introduction, your induction to academic life. First of all, my name is Eva Babula. I am the Associate Dean of the Faculty of Fine Arts. We all form a very coherent team working together and trying to support you. I'm also a professor in the Department of Art History and Visual Studies. And so I hope to meet some of you in that capacity over the next year. First of all, I'm not sure whether we actually talked about the recording, right? Just so that you know, we are recording this session. We put it up, only us, only the people who are on stage, and we put it up on our YouTube channel so that maybe you can go back and remember some of the information that we have shared today. And I'm sure that in the last few days and for the rest of today, you have been receiving a lot about the supports that are around. And that's not, it's not a coincidence that we all say the same things. These are really, really significant. I wanted to mention that most of your instructors, most of your professors really embody this interdisciplinary vision that we have been trying to communicate, that is great to go after. It's great to go after any program with dedication. That's it, right? So you're here to learn, you're here to experience, you're here to have an adventure, or many, many adventures. As a quick example, I wanted to mention that, I started out with studying history and archaeology with a specialization in art history. I then moved on to a master's that combined science, chemistry, and archaeology, and then went back to studying why ancient people were buried with weapons and jewelry, and everybody was around commemorating their deaths, which was a very, very creative topic to talk about. So a lot of us have gone through very different ways, very individual ways to find out what we are really passionate about. So from today, you are what we would call academic citizens. So that comes with obligations. Of course, you know that you have to study. It comes with rights, with privileges. You will learn a lot of things that you love over the next few years. You will learn things that you don't like. You may decide that some things you absolutely hate. And I hope that you love all your professors, but we'll see about that. So, but there are cases where you might be overwhelmed. There are cases where you might not be able to sleep because you are thinking of an upcoming exam. There may be some, all sorts of reasons why your day or your month or something will not be going according to plan in a course. I hope that everything goes perfectly okay. From the moment, though, that you think something is not 100% okay, and I don't mean your grades, not everybody gets 100% in everything, I hope not, please do reach out to other people. As Sarah mentioned, your instructors are your first port of call. Your peers, your friends, create a community. Try to talk with people, with at least one other person every day at university. Because often we get locked into our own perspectives of something, and it would be great to see what our peers' perspectives are from being in a particular course, taking a particular course, the ways to prepare for an exam, seeing what their strategies are. So your instructor, your peers, the chair of the department, the departmental secretaries, by the way, are an amazing resource. Please do reach out to them. The whole point about this is that we are here for you, but we need to know that you need some support. If we don't hear from you at all, we'll start worrying. And I will worry, I worry as a mother as well. So please stay in touch, take care of yourselves, study. Let us know anything that goes wrong as soon as it goes wrong. We are here to support and use all the supports that we have mentioned. Yeah? And welcome.
Okay, it's back to me, and I'm just going to check the time to see where we're at, and we're on time. What are the odds? Like I said earlier, my name is John Threlfall. I do the communications for the Faculty of Fine Arts. The only thing I really want to tell you is follow us on social media, because we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We put things out all the time. Like Allana had said, in a normal year, we have about 200 events that go on, and it's a great way to stay in touch with what's going on. But the other things you'll find on our social media feeds are things like call for funding. Like there might be opportunities for students to make money on the side, like a mural project, or somebody needs a spoken word artist or something like that. So I post things like that. I post interesting deadlines, things that are going on in the town, things that the students are interested in, and media stories about the Faculty of Fine Arts. A good insider tip is to have a sense of what your profs are working on. So you can find that through our social media. You can find that on the faculty blog. There's all sorts of interesting stories up there. The only other thing I'm going to tell you is I'll reinforce what everybody has said. When I started at UVic, as my t-shirt implies, I'm an alumni, I was a history English double major over in humanities. My entire professional career has been spent in the fine arts. I've been a stage manager, I've been a lighting tech, I've been a freelance writer, I was a theater critic, I was a journalist for 20 years, like I was a wedding DJ. I was that guy who came to your wedding and told you how to dance. My whole life's been in the arts, so you don't know where you're going to end up. So just keep your options open and talk to people around you. You're all really nice people. Okay, that said, now we're going to do the tricky part. What we're going to do is split you into your departmental groups, and then you're going to go off. So the writing students are going to go off with writing people. The visual arts students are going to go off with visual. So this